We are almost at the end of Unit 9. This is my word problems. This is day 1 of the word problems. So I want to go over some terminology first, make sure we understand that before we move into actually practicing. So the first part to this is like I said, the terminology. An angle of depression is an angle that a downward line of sight makes with a horizontal line. Likewise, an angle of elevation is an upward line of sight, or line of sight makes with a horizontal line as well. So if I were to draw pictures of this, if I have this lovely person here, and let's say that this is their horizontal line, and they're looking at this lovely bush or whatever this is on the ground, piece of trash, why not? This lovely angle is my angle of depression. Likewise, let's say that I have this lovely person. I'm going to draw them a little bit smaller. And they're looking at this lovely plane or bird or bee, whatever you want to say that is. And they're going to be looking up at that. And that is going to be my angle of elevation. So we're going to do 2 examples here just to make sure that we fully understand it. You are skiing on a mountain with an altitude of 1,200 feet. The angle of depression is 21 degrees. Find the distance you ski down. So I'm going to start with drawing this picture. So I have this lovely mountain. We're just going to pretend it's a perfect slope. So I have this person who's having just the blast. Their hair is flying. They're just on their skis and going down the mountain. So we're going to say that this is the horizontal line. And this is going to be my angle of depression. And they said my angle of depression is going to be 21 degrees. So now what I'm saying is I want to figure out, sorry, let me add a little bit of information here. I need to figure out how long this mountain is. So we're going to pretend this is a straight line creating a right angle. Then here is my right angle. This is going to be my 1,200 feet because that's how high they are up. And I can go ahead and use everything we've been doing so far and actually find our missing side. So I want to figure out how long this mountain is. So I'm going to use opposite over hypotenuse, which is going to be my sine function. So I'm going to do sine of 21 degrees. And that's going to equal opposite of 1,200 over over hypotenuse, which is x. Multiply both sides by x. I get x times sine of 21 degrees. And that's going to equal 1,200. And then we're going to divide both sides by that number of sine of 21 degrees. So I should get x to equal just about 3,348.5137. Now it wants me to round up to the nearest foot. So that means that 5 turns that 8 to go up. So I'm going to say x is going to equal just about 3,349 feet. And that's the first answer here. Moving on to the next part here, we're going to state that the school, your school is building a raked stage. The stage will be 30 feet long from the front to the back with a total rise of 2 feet. You want the rake or the angle of elevation to be 5 degrees or less for safety. Essentially, a raked stage is where I raise the back of the stage so that the audience towards the front can see the performance a little bit better. Now, obviously, for safety reasons, I can't have too large of an angle of elevation because then people start falling forward instead of just appearing in a way that the front rows can see. So we're trying to determine the dimensions of this specific stage. Is that going to work for my lovely, are these dimensions going to work for my stage without making my actors and actresses fall forward? Okay, so I need to do opposite. Here's my 90-degree angle over hypotenuse, which is going to be sine again. So I'm going to do sine. Ooh. Fix that opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to fix this and say sine of x is going to equal opposite, which is 2 over 30. Remember, if we want to find an angle measure, we use our inverse trig function. So in this case, we're going to do inverse sine of 2 over 30, or 1 over 15. And so we're going to say x is going to equal just about 3.8 degrees. That is less than 5 degrees, so we can officially say, yes, it works. And this right here is the basics of word problems. Come back for part 2, where we will go ahead and work through a couple of the problems on your worksheet.